So I'm coming at you guys with a review for this product that I have been using for the past few days, I want to say, week. But I think I've formulated enough, or I've used it enough to formulate a good opinion about it. So let's get started. This is the Etude House Precious Mineral Any Cushion. It's not even a BB cream or a CC cream. They're calling it cushion. You know, in Korean they call it cushion makeup. Because that is what it is. This is part of their Precious Mineral line. They do have BB cream, and I think they have a CC cream in that line. I have mine in the color, what is this? W13 Natural Beige, but this is actually my second thing for it because the first time I bought it in number 2 Light Beige, which is in this refill container, but it was way too light. Like, I look like a ghost more than usual. So I went out and bought the refill for it in a color that better matches me. It comes in 3 colors, light beige, natural beige, and honey beige, I believe is a third. So I can swatch the 2 that I have, so you know you can have a good idea of the colors, I guess. It was 18,000 Korean won, which comes out to about like $17 or $16 and some change. So it is pricier, but the refill is $13 or 13,000 Korean won, so that's about $13. So you're basically buying the case the first time, and then you're gonna buy refills after if you keep using them, or you can actually just buy the refill itself. You don't need the case with it because the refills that come in packages like this come with a new sponge and the product itself. It says that this cushion pack perfects all-day radiant and moist skin with its multifunction of brightening, wrinkle reducing, sebum control, and flawless coverage. So it's basically saying what a lot of baby creams say that they do. The compact itself, is like any other compact. It opens up to a pretty good sized mirror actually. You can do your whole face with this. And then you have your puff here, which is not really like a velour puff, it's more like a sponge puff. And the sponge is the holes in it are very small, so it doesn't absorb as much product as like other makeup sponges. And they do say that it's more sanitary. I don't really think it's more sanitary than using another regular sponge with other makeup, but that's what they're saying, and then it opens up to the actual product, and this itself is a sponge as well, and in it is soaked the makeup. The scent is very refreshing. It has that sort of light, I'd almost say it's like lemony laundry, if that makes sense. Lemony laundry. It has like that soft cotton, freshly washed sort of laundry smell, but it also has like that citrusy hint to it, so I don't know. I don't even know if that's important. Product itself is kind of hard to describe because it's nothing I've ever really used before. It's very, it's thin, but it's like a thick sort of thin, but not a bad kind of thick, if that makes sense. It has a very adhesive, tacky sort of base to it. If you ever swatch this, you'll feel like when you put it on, it adheres to your skin very well, and it's not just gonna slide off. It's that sort of thick adhesiveness. So when I first swatched it, I could tell it had that sort of a long-lasting property about it. The finish it gives is very dewy. It's not a matte product at all, but it doesn't have any shimmers in it. It has that natural sort of glow that it can give to your skin. And what I like about this is that a lot of other products claim to be dewy finish, but throughout the day your skin sort of soaks it up, and then your skin ends up looking dry. But throughout the day for this one, it's able to maintain that sort of moist, supple look to it. So that's what I love about this, because I don't really like matte products at all. I used to, but not really anymore. Because I think dews can just look more natural. I lost my train of thought. The coverage is quite high for a Korean beauty-based product. Although the coverage is high, it maintains its thin consistency, so you don't need to. It's very pigmented, so you don't need to use that much. You'll see in the demo that I do of it that I don't really use too much to my whole face, and because of this sponge application sort of thing, the whole process is so much faster than using like liquid BB creams or CC creams or foundation, and it's portable. So starting off with bare skin, other than my skincare and my eyebrows. Here's the product, here's the applicator. For one cheek, you don't need that much. You only need to press lightly, and I think this is good enough for one cheek. And I go to town. I concentrate mainly on the apples of my cheek, where apples of my cheek, where I have the most redness, and I kind of blend outwards. And if I need more coverage, I just build it up. This is with that little tiny bit that you saw. Here's one side. Here's the other. So you can see it's already evened it out quite a bit. I'm gonna do one more little that, and go over one more time. I like this puff because I can use my finger like this to get into any difficult areas, like under my eyes and around my nose, because that's where I have the dark circle, and then I have redness here. There's another light layer. As you can see, it wasn't a bunch of product at all. It was like little speckles of product, and it covered most of my redness. As you can see, there you can still see my scar from when I got my mole removed. You can actually see my mole, it grew back. But other than that, in person, most, if not 90% of the redness is gone. So I'm just going to do this right now. On this side I have 2 blemishes right here, so we can see how well it covers that. Again, I'm dipping into the product. I probably got too much that time, but it's okay because this product is so thin that it doesn't really cake up, and you're using a sponge with it, so it absorbs a lot of the product. Not really absorbs, but it really blends the product. I feel like I was going to say something after that, but I didn't. Okay, here is one. The other side. With about the same amount of product I use as this side, because I fucking still good coverage. We'll see. Let me see if I can put a little more on the blemishes. Cover them up. still there, but I don't mind. They're still lessened or whatever. If you wanted, you can go over that with concealer. This isn't like powder or anything, so you can put more liquid or cream products on top. And I'm just gonna do my forehead. For my forehead, I'm only gonna use a little bit because if I use too much, it might get stuck in my fine lines on my forehead. This product doesn't really get stuck in fine lines, but because I have a very expressive forehead, so if using too much product, I can risk getting that stuck in the lines throughout the day. Also, the more you press, the more product it dispenses onto the skin from the sponge. So on areas you need more coverage, like your cheeks, you can press a little harder. Otherwise, you can just dab lightly. You don't need to press super hard at all. And there. I find that throughout the day, it maintains this, like, from start, when you first put it on to when, throughout the day, it sort of stays the same. I notice it fades just a little bit after a few hours around my nose, but not that much. But what I did notice is that if I put it over sunscreen, the wear of it is not very good. It dries up and it sort of sinks into pores and it starts to cake and get into lines. So if you're planning on using SPF, you probably should just use this all over your face, because it is SPF 50, which is very high anyway, with PA triple plus. So you can use this as your daily sunscreen protection. This is advertised as being a product you can take anywhere with you for touch-up and things, and I have used that before, but I don't like to do it because, one, I don't like having to touch up my makeup, and two, just using more product can end up taking it up. So if you do put more than, if you do end up putting a second layer in the middle of the day, it can start to settle into the lines around like eyes, and my smile lines especially, and my forehead where I have like expression lines. So I try to keep the product to a minimum, but if you have good skin, this is fantastic for bringing around touch-ups. So with that being said, you need to powder after you put it on at the beginning of the day. You can if you want, but like I said, I would try to avoid putting like this product and then powder and then this product again later on in the day, because it might end up looking cakey, and that's not a look that you want to go for. Because it happened to me, and so if you want to use this as just sort of something in the morning and you want it to last throughout the day, I would powder down the middle or wherever you have oily areas, and it should be good for the day. So I only have this on right now, and as you can see, it concealed my dark circles pretty well, and I do have two pretty strong blemishes right here right now, so it didn't cover that. But other than that, it evened out the redness for most of my face. And you can still see my scar from the mole removal is just still healing. And there as well. So you can use this in tandem with other concealers or other products. I just didn't today. But then again, I don't really like putting too much on my face. Says the guy that puts like tons of skincare. I just really like this because it keeps the dewy skin all day, and it doesn't leave my skin feeling dry that a lot of other products do. I feel like I always have to use way more moisturizer just to compensate for the dryness that other products cause. Because the weather's starting to change, and that's when my skin gets crazy. Do I recommend this? Yes, I do recommend this. Why? Because it's portable, it's quick, it's easy, the coverage is fantastic. and the SPF is really high. And some cons, the colors, there's only 3 colors and they're kind of pale, so if you're darker than like an NC30 in MAC, then you probably can't pull this off. Because even the 3rd shade, Honey Beige, it's slightly darker than this, but it has I mean, it's somewhat wearable for someone like an NC30, but it's very pink, that I noticed. So it's like, if you can find a shade that matches well, then I would pick it up. You don't need to, like I said, you don't need to buy the whole case. You can probably just buy the refill pack, because it comes with a sponge in that product. You're only missing out on a mirror, but I don't think, you know, if you don't plan on taking it around with you, then you don't need a mirror. Another con, if you use too much, it can settle into fine lines, and fine lines. Especially since if you're planning on touching up with this. So if I were you, I would take some blotting sheets to blot off any excess oil and product that is sort of sitting on top, and then you can go over it with this. And also, it doesn't work well with sunscreen, so if you're going to use SPF protection, I would just use this on its own. But other than that, I really enjoy this product. I'm glad I picked it up because I've been on the fence about it for a while. I knew there was a bunch of cushion makeup coming out, but I didn't bother even, you know, it was the same situation with CC cream. But, you know, I converted. So I hope you enjoyed that review, and thank you for watching.